Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. And last time we dealt with a couple of dragon spirits who apparently had some unfinished business in the fact that I hadn't killed them enough yet. This time we've got a new party and a special setup. You do want the Soul Eater because you're going to want to deal some damage in this fight. Magic with Dart, not particularly useful. Key for this fight is Phoenix Blooms. You need status protection. Well, you don't need it if you kill them fast enough and get lucky, but anyway, good to have. So you want protection against Confusion and Bewitch. And who else do I have in my party? Kongal. He's got Phoenix Bloom as well. Got lots of speed. That's what he wants. And Miranda is going to be my magic user for this fight. I could have, taken the rainbow earring off, which is basically a ribbon in Final Fantasy terms. But, I want her to have the protection anyway, even though she may or may not use it. That being said, let's go. Now, unlike the last two fights in the last episode where I was using my lowest leveled characters, these two are actually my highest leveled characters, which is kind of odd, but the reason I'm using them is because they won't be too useful in the upcoming fights, and so I want to get them some experience now before they get very little more. That and Kongal is pretty close to leveling up his final edition, and I'd like to get that out of the way. Anyway, if you recall from the last episode, we ran into Lavitz, and now he's apparently Ghost Lavitz. Not quite as good as Ghost Nappa, but we'll take what we can get here. Anyway, what's a dart? Apparently he does. Yet that's not going to stop him from screaming. Look at the back. Huh, what is that anyway? Seems to be affecting the soul. Apparently we can't do much of anything. Smells of devildom. Kind of an odd word to use there. We haven't really talked much about devils until, just now. Kind of weird that you wait until you get to Mayfield to even talk about devils, and then we won't mention them after this. Anyway, the way this fight plays out is very much like a story battle. You can try and attack him, but 0 damage. And as you can see, ow, that hurts. Don't do that. You want to guard as soon as you get into the fight, unless you get a certain option. This option. If you do nothing, you can't proceed, so talk to the guy. Now, the fact that when he turned around we were able to see this demon in the cutscene there is kind of our evidence to know how to deal with this guy now. And that's by trying to attack him when his back is turned. However, Miranda doesn't have much for a physical attack, so I'm just going to use the items I got from the previous enemies to attack him with. They're not particularly special, but since Lavitz has crap for magic defense, we might as well take advantage of that and waste these items that I otherwise would never use. At least even though they give us these crappy items, at this stage in the game, not just the crappy equipment we've been getting, but also this crap, at least it has a purpose in this fight. So basically what we want to do at this point is we want to go all out and just... Can't do two things at once. Yeah, we want to take him out as quickly as possible and deal a lot of damage quickly. So yeah, you want to go and beat the crap out of him. Might as well use the wind one now as well. Now I can't remember if he's a little stronger against this one, but It doesn't really matter. It still does a decent amount of damage. Okay, it cuts it in half. Which I guess makes sense. He is green elemental. Anyway, let's end this guy. Now, one thing to note about this fight is I've had it glitch up on me multiple times, but only when using Dragoons. So I would recommend avoiding Dragoons. Now, as you can see, this fight's not over. Not by a long shot. Well, it's half over, but... What the... Who is not the right question. It's what? What the hell is that? Looks like a Shinigami from Death Note or something. Well, a pixelated one anyway. Anyway, this is Zackwell, a resident of the darkness. So worried about you that he could not bear dying. You know what? I shouldn't find humor in anything with this fight, but seriously, that is so much like Lavitz that it just causes me to grin uncontrollably. Down to the core, that was Lavitz's character, and the fact that they remembered that to this point in the game is just awesome. Anyway, yeah, we do think we can defeat you. Now, he can use either Confusion or Bewitch, I don't know which one it is. So, at this point, we want to set up buffs, now that we actually know who we're fighting. Power down, speed down, and we really kind of diminish his ability to do too much. He's got some attacks, but nothing particularly deadly, you know, nothing we need to worry about. I'm going to use power up on Miranda, and then I'll use power down on my next turn. Basically, I just want to make sure that I get her the power up so she can start dealing some damage, and ow. I guess that didn't really hurt all that much, but anyway, let's go with speed down on you. And I actually don't want to use speed up on Miranda. I'd actually much rather use it on Dart because he'll be doing more damage. However, I won't be doing that on this turn. So I want to start with the Psychedelic Bomb X. Ah, I didn't even hit 200. That sucked. Ew. You can easily get up to 4,000. I think you can get up to 4,000. I think I got 3,800 in my test run, but... Anyway, I'm going to attack. Now, I think with Miranda's next turn, I'm going to use the speed up on Dart. Even though she has the power up on her, I just basically used it for the one attack. She can also use a Flash Haul, but I want to get Dart going because he's going to do the majority of the damage now. I could have used power up on him and it probably would have been about the same, but basically I want to get this guy beaten before he does something. And what he does, and I'm going to be able to do it, is he puts up a shield or something. He can also confuse all of your party members at once. I kind of glossed over that, but beware of that. He basically, he buries himself in the ground, I think, and he kind of has a shield and you can't deal any damage to him. And I think he might heal a little bit. Either way, you have to defend while he does that, and it takes forever, and I don't want to have to defend in a boss fight. So I'm not going to. Again, like I was saying before, don't use Dragoons in this fight. Oh, it's not dead yet. Whoa. That was creepy. Very creepy. I was sure he was going to be dead. Oh well, I'll use the Flash Haul on him and finish him off. At least I get to show off some of these other attack items that I will almost never be able to use otherwise. Well, there we go. Now he's dead. And Dart delivers the finishing blow, and he disintegrates. Now, if we're lucky, it's not going to show me yet. Nope. Okay, there is a 50% chance that this guy can drop the halberd. And I think it's also a chance to drop a healing rain, which I'm not particularly worried about. Oh crap, oh crap. Huh? Oh crap, he got hit. Okay, how is he all the way across the room now? Always bugged me. Anyway, yeah, so he drops his sword. He doesn't get struck down. He throws his sword down in order to do the standard anime RPG trope thing, and Lavitz just stabs himself. Then again, I guess he's kind of already dead, so it's not like it's a big deal or anything, but... Hey! He's normal again. Cool. Apparently he was aware of it. Still love these cutscenes after the battles. It's where a lot of the emotion of the game comes through anyway. Yeah, he is. He's quite dead. He just killed himself while he was already dead, actually. Anyway, we get a nice bromance moment here, and his body starts to disintegrate. No time left, huh? He was going to lead us. I missed half of that and went by too fast. Presumably to where we're supposed to go, because that's what it ends up being. I'll just tell you that. And... yeah. Rest in peace, Lavitz. You've served a good purpose. I like that they brought him back at this point in the game. You know, it's not like they just pulled some BS excuse to bring him back. It actually kind of made sense. And yes, I got it. Thank you. Oh, I do not want to redo that. Okay. The halberd has a 50% drop rate, and such a bullshit move. It is Albert's best weapon in the game. Why is it only a 50% drop? Why? The Soul Eater is a 100% drop if you fight the boss. Why is this 50%? Anyway, enough of that. 50% drop. If you don't get it, reload, do it again. The healing rain I almost always get. But anyway, there we go. Get some levels. Get my item. I'm going to go save. Anyway, here we have... the moon has not yet set, or, well, I guess come down to the world to destroy it, or whatever's going to happen. Anyway, Signet Sphere is still safe, which means Shauna is still alive. That's good. If we go up this road of souls, there will be no return. No, we don't want to do that yet. This is literally the final point of no return. If we go up here, that's it. No more going back, no more explanation, no more side quests, no more extra bosses. That's it. So, before we go and do that, there are a few extra things I would like to do. A lot of them require going to the third disc. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up. I'm going to head all the way out through Mayfill, warp back to Xenobados, and take Kulon out of here, and then I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, we're back. Now, what I've done off screen is I've switched to the 7502 PAL version, or PAL BIOS, because we need to go back to disc 3 at this point in order to go do the side quests I want to do. If you recall earlier in the game, we were at Velweb, right at the end of disc 3 there, and in order to do much of anything, we needed to, or well, we continued with the plot from there, but Shirley had a bunch of stuff that she wanted us to do after we met with Zeeg. However, we couldn't really get back there until we got Kulon. So, now is as good a time as any. Where'd it go? Let's head back to the Crystal Palace in Leningrad. From there, we'll have to trek all the way across the snowfield and the glacier to get all the way over there. So I'll do that off screen, and I'll meet you over at Velweb. Okay, there we go. Now, as I came in, I wanted to get to the save point before I made my cut, and unfortunately I missed the recording the cutscene there. There's a very short cutscene where Rose and Shirley just basically talk about, Shirley asks again for us. It might even be the exact same piece of dialogue we saw before, where she asks us to free the friends, but not until after we deal with Zeke. Rose says we don't have time and that we have to deal with Zeke now, and she's going to leave the dealing with the Dragoons to you. Presumably either saying that to Dart or to Shirley. I'm not sure which. Anyway, we missed out on that. Sorry. It's not a big deal. Anyway, the healing point there is still working, so that's good to know. I don't have time to go into the boss fights here. There are a series of 4 boss fights. You can make sure to come down and heal between all of them, so no big issue there. Since I don't have time, I might as well just go over my setup. For the first one, I'm going to face, well, I'll show you next time, but my party is going to consist of Magical Dart, Rose, who is built for speed and HP, doesn't really matter. And Albert, again, built for speed and in not this case not HP, but just keeping his HP. So I'm using the halberd, the weapon I got from the Lavitz boss fight. It is his best weapon. There's nothing particularly interesting about it. It's just his best weapon. Nothing special. Anyway, so yeah, so that's that. As far as additions go, we've mastered Blazing Dynamo, so that's good. I needed to do that before I got to the super boss after these bosses. Rose is all done. Hashel is working on Hex Hammer still, unfortunately. Albert is pretty close to finishing off Flowerstorm. What I did on the way here, since I was going through so many, repeat battles, is I just threw the Ultimate War God on him and had him attack everybody. I built him for speed and just had him mow through everyone else defended, so that I would get the uses of the addition that I needed. Now, I could have probably figured out a better way of doing this ahead of time, so I didn't have to spend lots of time building up darts and then lots of time building up Alberts, etc. But I'm lazy, so meh. Meru finally finished off Cool Boogie and gained a Dragoon level, presumably in a battle I fought off screen. I can't remember when. Cat's Cradle is her newest one. I've unequipped her Pretty Hammer at this point because doubling 20 SP is negligible. So she'll do pretty well for damage-wise with this edition. Finally, it gets pretty good. And Kongol still needs a few more to finish off Bone Crush. I'll do that off screen sometime along the way. He'll also gain his final Dragoon level very shortly after that, or at least in my experience. And Miranda, still useless. So that's going to be my setup and what we're going to do in the next part there. So yeah, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.